Hello, I'm just saying I'm sorry. The video So I Used to Draw didn't actually save correctly. This is a re-uploading of the video. It's currently fixed now, so I hope you enjoy it in a actual edited format now. So I hope this doesn't become a current, not a current problem, but a reoccurring problem. I won't be able to stream today. So I decided to throw a video together today. Not very good, obviously, because I just made this up on the spot to do something, just anything today, and so forth. And it's kind of funny how I can stream on days I can't stream, but then I can't stream on days that I planned on streaming. So, what am I doing today? Well, obviously, I've decided to straight up show drawings that I used to do. Believe it or not, I did draw a little bit, not much, to be honest with you. But I ended up finding my book that I used to draw in. I lost it for about, I want to say like 7 months. I lost this book and so forth. And then I found it today. And I was like, you know what, these are pretty cool, so I could probably do something like a video on it. So the first one I have is, it was my first attempt at really going based off of an idea. And it didn't, I think it went alright. It was a scout trooper from the Star Wars universe and so forth. And, just doing it, based off, it was off a picture, but it wasn't based off an exact picture of something. That's kind of how I drew, is basically just looking at an idea of one, so a scout trooper, and then basically putting my twist on it in a way. And it went I thought it went all right for the first one, but obviously the first ones aren't amazing, and I guarantee you the rest of these aren't going to be. Trust me on this one. So the story behind this one is basically I got a list of all of 12 guys in my class who was like, if I were to draw you in here, what would you want to be drawn as? And one of my friends said one of the Halo characters, and it was 11:30 at night on a school night. I needed to get up early that morning, and I just slapped shit together. It was so bad. I think I redeemed him, actually. Yeah, I did redeem him. Yeah, I did later redeem him and so forth. But yeah, so that was it was funny because I randomly just turned to that page, and all of a sudden I was like, ooh, I gypped him super badly. Okay, so this next one actually is Goblin Slayer. I forgot I watched the anime, and I became super enthralled with it, and so I drew him back to back. When I started getting it more into SCPs and stuff like that, I drew the Witch Doctor on my own twist. Normally he has a top hat. Not a top hat, but more of the iconic Plague Doctor kind of hat and so forth. But I gave him a hood because everything needs a hood in these days. I'm not gonna lie, these last 3 pictures are just straight up just gave me memories. So this is actually from a nightmare I had. And yes, it is the Nightmare Marionette from Five Nights at Freddy's and so forth. And so that was what I had to dream of. Obviously, it's not accurate to my room, but I remember that dream pretty vividly. It was a giant room just like this, nothing in it, just one door over yonder and so forth. And that was just at the end of the bed, and it just would not stop looking at me. That was But so this one actually is a tank hunter from Battlefield 1. If you never played Battlefield 1, you're not going to have any idea what I'm talking about. Basically, it was a battle pickup to use the tank of air, and it basically was a one-shot sniper to enemy players, small vehicles. It had 0 bullet drop, and it was just super fun to snipe people out of the bottom of a plane. Hieroglyphs of ASDF and so forth. So the first one I ever attempted was the Joker from the cartoon series of Batman. I thought he turned out really, really good, in my opinion. And I think it was I'm gonna go for more portrait kind of guys and stuff like that, because because that was actually really fun to draw, and it reminded me of it. And then straight up, I'm seeing some memes in here too. It's actually kind of funny, and so forth. Yep, there it is. The Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yep, that was fun. Oh, I wish I did the text a little better. Obviously, I was just super tired and I just wrote it in general. But then this was straight up Vader. Kind of ironic how I would do Obi-Wan and then basically Anakin Skywalker right back to back, and then stupid memes that I wouldn't get. That, well, obviously you'll get it because it's just fucking regular show. That's about it. I didn't realize this was in here. We'll get to those a little bit later, but we'll do this one first. So basically, I guess this is when my depression started kicking in. Yeah. So basically, obviously I'm sitting on boxes of work, gaming, bills, living, eating, sleeping, social, and then there was a box. If you can tell the box in the corner here, it's just stable. Just being stable, I didn't have that under control. Basically me sitting on the boxes and everything. There was always this feeling like this puppeteer above you, just controlling everything that you were doing and so forth. Oh, this is season 1 of Mandalorian. Drew that one. I remember this drawing. I could not. What was the one thing? I could not get his helmet, and it still isn't correct. I just said fuck it, and I just left it. That was I'm not going to talk about that drawing, to be honest with you. So this is when was this? This is when Modern Warfare 2's campaign got remastered, and I did Ghost, and I didn't like it, only because, you know, his fucking headset is literally his head. Like, I didn't give that any depth whatsoever. This is my first, no, this is my third rendition of the Doomslayer, which I thought was pretty cool. I ended up liking it pretty much. It was basically Super Gore Nest. I was doing it on. It makes no sense for him to have a crucible on Super Gore Nest, but I thought it was pretty cool. So unfortunately, this is the last one in the book. I still have a lot of pages I can draw with in this, but fuck it, I'll do it. Fuck it, I'll say what this one is. It's just a picture. It's just a drawing I did one day. You probably can't see too much. Those two figures, one's leaning over the steps, one's standing slightly behind them. The context of that drawing, basically, the basics of the drawing basically was, at the time, it was my girlfriend, and she was going through some shit, and she felt like she had nobody, and basically the drawing was, no matter what, I always got your back. But then little did I know she didn't have mine. So you know what, I seriously think I have my notebook somewhere. So actually, 1 second. I have it. Very surprising, to be honest with you. I didn't think I would have it, and it has the names of the drawings that I was going to do for the class. Holy shit. So these drawings are a little bit more. These are rough. These are rough. Each one actually has a story. I'm looking at that one drawing. Right. I'm looking at 2 of the drawings, and I'm like, what was I thinking? So 2 of them were definitely free-handed, and then the others were me basing it off a picture, kind of. Actually, 3 of them. 4 of them. One of them was based off a picture, and you will tell which one was based off a picture. And so forth. So the first one, I would draw and then slide it into the front covers of like a binder and stuff like that, and it'll be like your decal on the binder, so you actually could identify your binder, and so forth. So like, Basically, you can see Bending the Ink Machine, Foxy from Five Nights at Freddy's, Bonnie. That is Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's. That Springtrap. Oh my word. And then obviously Shadow the Hedgehog. Basically, this was my front cover for a while. Fucking Springtrap. He's such a crack addict. Holy shit. No significant heroes besides a Master Chief helmet. That's about it. That is about it. Like, you got Sonic, you got Knuckles, you got fucking, like, Stoner Mario with Cuphead and a round ball of Kirby that I tried. Sunky. That is Sunky. If you've never played Sunky, it's actually hilarious to play. It's based off Sonic.exe, and it's just a fun version of it, and so forth. So, granted, these next few could be cringe. I think these next 5 could be cringe. There is a dark story with one of them, as a lot of shit I did when I drew. Either something was happening in my life, or I was just bored. Okay, so these next few are actually going to be kind of dark. The drawings themselves aren't dark. It's why they came out, and so forth. Obviously, there are my takes on Five Nights at Freddy's. So, I think the darkest one I'm going to actually just start right off the rip with is straight up Freddy Fazbear. Like, straight up. He is short as fuck, and he is not chunk at all. His head is the biggest thing on this piece of paper, and so forth. You're probably wondering why it's so dark. It's because this drawing wouldn't have happened if events the night before took place. And by events of the next day, I planned on committing suicide that night before, and my friend talked me out of it. She was basically like making sure I was okay throughout that day, and that day, I drew Freddy. So one night I was super tired. I was super stressed out from the day, and so forth. So I decided to draw a little bit, and I just realized I put this guy's head backward. No, that's a rendition of the game. You won't even be able to see it, probably. Everything will probably look completely normal to you on your end, but just Bonnie when he jump scares you in the office and so forth. You know, if I could go back, I would like make his like fucking eyes fill the eye sockets a little bit more, but I think it gives it that like a dark feel to it, and I really liked how he came out. And so forth. But no, I was just super stressed out that night. I remember just kicking my homework off my bed from high school and just started drawing it. I drew, by this point, this was the last character I needed to draw to do like the Five Nights at Freddy's crew. I drew all five Nights at Freddy's players with characters, which is basically what I'm doing right now, is just going through them. I'm not going in order because I can't vaguely remember, but I do know this was the last one, and I wanted to do something with Chica. So it was the one cam down the hall where her head's tilted, looking at you, and the cameras and everything like that. So obviously this was just sped done. I could tell because I didn't take time to color in like tiles and shit like that. It was just like straight up like, get it done, get it out, move on. And by move on was started drawing in the book by that point. Kind of just freestyled in a little bit, and so forth. I did have to look up how to do his body. I could not do his body to save my life. I'm looking at a lot of eraser marks from the body's side down. Like, the head was done pretty well, and so forth, but it's Foxy in the curtains, and so forth. And so forth. Also, I started messing around with wear and tear on them. So this was my first drawing, really, where I was doing like the hashtag marks, like here, and so forth. Just trying to give it like they're worn a little bit, and then I started adding it to the drawings in general, and especially this next one, which I'm just gonna go right into. He had a lot of wear marks and so forth. If you think it's Golden Freddy, it's not. I actually did Golden Freddy in my book, and so forth. But no, this is when my depression was super high, and I related to this character a lot, where the outside looks happy, but the inside is fucking dead, and so forth. And by that reference, it's Springtrap in general. So I drew Springtrap. In general, as you can tell, there's still a body inside the suit screaming, and then there's the face just smiling and everything like that. Obviously, Springtrap is worn. He was my first time drawing a body. You can't even tell what body part is what body part from the neck down. Like, his rib cage is so far over. Oh my heavens. That's a rib cage. That might be an endoskeleton. I don't even know anymore. Only me who drew that knows. Way back in the day. Okay, I lied. There's one more. And it's in the book. I remembered. I gotta find it. And I actually found it right. Nope. I went a little too far. It was one more 5 Nights at Freddy's drawing I had. It originally just started with the head. And you'll see. Not the actual Springtrap animatronic. But it basically had the four crying kids. Golden Freddy. And then Marionette. So it was basically drawing the marionette with Springtrap with the dead body in there with the four crying children right there and so forth. Basically they're 8-bit versions, obviously, you know, so I liked it. Obviously I like the head more, and then I think what I did was I drew Springtrap first, actually, and then drew the head to give it like the illusion effect and so forth. So yeah, that's basically, there's no more. Or some of them I didn't show because I just didn't feel like it and so forth. So yeah, again, sorry, I won't be able to stream today. I got a busy schedule today. I'm going to be helping a friend move later. Got to go into work because corporate shit will be happening and so forth. So yeah, sorry. Hopefully you all enjoy this or find some enjoyment out of it. I know they were depressing. I know a lot of the drawings were depressing and shit like that. Like, oh, that's a cool drawing. Fuck, this wouldn't have happened if... Oh my gosh. Alright, thank you so very much. Yeah, until then, see yous.